Good morning everybody, or afternoon, I don't really care, it's the Epic Boosh, and welcome to May 14th on the Pokemon Sun and Moon Countdown, and welcome to part 3 of the Starter Thoughts and Theories. We're doing Poplio today. I love that art that you can see right there. If you missed the episodes on Rowlet and Litten, they will be linked in the description below if you want to go and check them out. I have some really good theories about both of them. And Poplio is kind of weird because in terms of the general public, he's at the moment the least favourite. I personally prefer him a little bit over Litten, but that may just be because I'm not really sure. I just prefer him over Litten, but of course Litten has the most potential evolving out of the three, I think. But Poplio looks pretty cool as well. I think the really obvious thing to say is that it's going to be just another classic bulky water. I honestly think not giving this thing a secondary typing is the best course of action, because the only one that really at all makes sense is Ice, and that would make it a clone of every other Seal Pokemon we already have. So Dugong and Walrein. Yeah, those are the only two. A theory I did have to start with, which I mentioned in my first video I talked about the starters, is what if it became more agile and became a fighting type? I think I'm just saying that because I love fighting types so much. I think that's very unlikely to happen. But there are ideas. I mean, people were throwing around Water Dragon, which doesn't really work with a seal, but Water Fairy possibly, or perhaps even Water and something else. People are theorizing about a Cosmic type, which could work, but the thing is, if they were going to change old Pokemon, a lot of the ones they'd change would have to be legendaries, and I'm not sure how well that would work. Because people are theorizing Salagia, that's the Sun legendary, is going to be Fire Cosmic, and the Lunala is going to be Cosmic Dark. Which, yeah, it makes sense, it works, but I don't think Cosmic makes sense in terms of transferring old Pokemon. Like, the Fairy type, it was easy to transfer Pokemon over. For Cosmic type, not really, because you need a space-based Pokemon, really, unless you're going to be really weird. But most of the ones that are that, so like Jirachi, Deoxys, like most legendaries are space-based. Like a lot of them after Gen 3, but you can't change the type of legendary really. I mean, you can make Deoxys Psychic Cosmic, but it doesn't quite have the same effect as changing like other Pokemon. I mean, Meteor Mash could become a Cosmic move, but that would kind of ruin Steel type offensively a little bit. So it's very, very odd, and we're at a crossroads with the Cosmic type. But we're here to talk about Poplio, who is going to get some awesome bubble moves. I think its exclusive Final Evolution move is going to be some kind of bubble move. So thinking we have Bubble Beam, maybe it'll be Bubble Blast, or Bubble... no, not Bubble Shot, that doesn't sound as cool. So Bubble Blast is my theory. If I get that right, look at this video and I will quote that. But seriously, in terms of competitive tiering, bulky waters do very, very well. I'm thinking, are you possibly even BL2 this thing, if it works out? But the thing to note is, if they are to give this thing an ice typing, it would be terrible. Like, I'm thinking hidden ability, thick fat, just bulky water. It makes too much sense to me for it to just be a bulky water, because, like, the design aspects of a seal are there in a bulky water, surely. I mean, as for other things they could do with it, they could make it more agile, or they could just make it a massive, great big fat seal. I'm leaning more towards the great big fat seal at the moment, just because it would provide contrast with my theories for the other starters. But they could make it more agile, it's possible. But we always have had a bulky starter. So in Gen 1 the bulky starter was Blastoise, Gen 2 was Meganium, jeez, I can't speak. Gen 3 was Swampert, yeah, that was the bulky one. And Gen 4 was Torterra. Gen 5, I actually have no idea for Gen 5, I don't follow Gen 5. and then in Gen 6 it was Chestnut. So we always have had a bulky starter. I think there was one in Gen 5. So there has to be one, and I think Poplio is the most likely. But they could go that route with Rowlet, but as I said, Grass Flying is a terrible defensive typing, whereas Water is a very, very good defensive type. I mean, if they want to make it Water Ground, they could. Like, they could go make it Water Ground. Like, Swampert doesn't have much reason to be Water Ground, so this doesn't need much reason. That's a fantastic typing. There's so many ways they can go that it's just amazing. It's just amazing, and I think Poplio is actually very, very underrated at the moment. And if you look at fan art online, people are thinking it's going to get like its own ball and stuff, and it's going to be awesome. But I think it's very much unknown. I mean, it could even be Water Psychic if they went an interesting route with it. But I think bulky, just pure water, I think is really the way this is going at the moment. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Poplio. So like, subscribe, boosh guys, bye.